Welcome to LuckScout Economic News. The U.S. economy presents a complex picture today, June 13, 2024. Inflation, though moderating, remains stubbornly high. Producer prices offer a mixed bag of rising and falling costs. Meanwhile, the labor market shows continued strength, even as some sectors experience slowdowns. These intertwined factors create both opportunities and challenges for policymakers, businesses, and individuals. Understanding the current state of these key economic indicators is crucial for navigating the months ahead. It is within this dynamic environment that the Federal Reserve must make critical decisions about interest rates and monetary policy. The outcomes of these decisions will have far-reaching consequences for the financial well-being of Americans. Inflation, the rate at which prices for goods and services increase, has been a persistent concern for the U.S. economy. While recent data suggests that inflation has peaked, it remains well above the Federal Reserve's target of 2%. This means that the cost of living continues to rise, eroding purchasing power and putting a strain on household budgets. The causes of this stubborn inflation are complex and multifaceted. Supply chain disruptions, increased demand fueled by government stimulus, and the war in Ukraine have all contributed to upward price pressures. The Federal Reserve has responded by raising interest rates to cool the economy and curb inflation. However, the path to achieving price stability without triggering a recession remains narrow and uncertain. Producer prices, which measure the costs that businesses face for their inputs, offer a mixed picture. Some sectors, like energy, have seen significant price increases due to global supply chain disruptions and geopolitical events. These higher costs are often passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices for goods and services. On the other hand, some industries are experiencing easing price pressures as supply chains begin to normalize and demand cools. This suggests that inflationary pressures may be starting to abate in certain sectors. However, it remains to be seen how these trends will play out in the coming months, and whether they will translate into lower prices for consumers. The U.S. labor market remains a bright spot in the economy. Unemployment is low and job growth continues, albeit at a slower pace than earlier in the year. This indicates a strong demand for labor, which is positive for workers but also contributes to wage growth that can fuel inflation. However, there are signs of softening in certain sectors, particularly in technology and finance, which have experienced layoffs in recent months. This suggests that the Federal Reserve's interest rate hikes may be starting to have their intended effect of slowing down the economy. The challenge for policymakers is to engineer a soft landing, reducing inflation without causing a sharp rise in unemployment. These economic indicators, inflation, producer prices, and employment, are all interconnected and influence each other in complex ways. The Federal Reserve must carefully analyze these dynamics when making decisions about monetary policy. The central bank's goal is to achieve price stability while also supporting maximum employment. The path forward for the U.S. economy is uncertain. The Federal Reserve's actions, global economic conditions, and unforeseen events will all play a role in shaping the economic outlook. The coming months will be crucial in determining whether the U.S. can achieve a soft landing or whether it will face a recession. For the average American, these economic trends translate into a complex financial reality. The rising cost of living driven by inflation continues to strain household budgets. Consumers are forced to make difficult choices, cutting back on spending or dipping into savings to make ends meet. However, the strong labor market provides some buffer against these challenges. With plentiful job opportunities, many Americans are able to find work or negotiate higher wages. This income growth can help offset some of the impact of inflation, but it can also contribute to the wage price spiral that the Federal Reserve is trying to avoid. Navigating this economic environment requires careful planning and adaptation. Consumers are well advised to closely monitor their spending, explore ways to reduce debt, and consider their options for generating additional income. The coming months will require resilience and resourcefulness as Americans navigate the uncertainties of the U.S. economy. Please like the video and share it with others. Thank you for watching.